Hello everyone, my name is DeAndre Robinson and today I thought I'd make a video talking about the coronavirus. So, I'm trying to think of just where to begin with all of this. Um, so right now, I guess personally I'll talk about how things have affected, my life personally. So I live in the state of Ohio and our state governor, Mike DeWine, shut down all schools for the next 3 weeks until so today's the 14th until I think April the 6th. So we're off the week of Monday the 16th, the 23rd, and the 30th. But then that week of the 6th, April 6th, is when things are scheduled for K through 12 schools to be running up again. And I'm a senior in high school. So this has had quite an impact on me, especially as a senior. There's lots of big events, as seniors, people have all sorts of sports events going on, games that they have been preparing for months, assignments, projects that people have been working for a year or two, and stuff is just getting canceled left and right. We don't know what's going to happen with prom. I don't plan to go to prom, but there's a lot of people in my grade affected by that. I am affected by a trip that I had planned for New York City at the end of April. I'm pretty certain, 99.9% certain that that's not going to be happening, even though our superintendent or someone, I'm not sure, someone of high power that works in our county has shut down any school trips that are taking place out of the state for the next 30 days. And, the end of April is outside of that 30-day limit, but I don't think things are going to be getting better soon. People, as Michael Osterholm said, and I'll talk about him again in a little bit here, he says that people are expecting this to be like some coronavirus blizzard. It's like, oh, we have this coronavirus thing, it's going to be taking over, canceling things for weeks or whatever, and then it's going to go away and everything will be back to normal, when in reality we should be preparing for a coronavirus winter. This coronavirus thing, the way everyone's been reacting, with everything that's going on around the world, it's going to be here to stay and here to continue being a problem for the remainder of this year, for months to come. And I'm not sure personally how things are going to be for my graduation. My mom talked with her father, so my grandpa, of course. He's like nearly 75 years old. She doesn't want him getting on the plane coming over to Ohio. I don't think it'd be an issue if he were to. But the thing is, we don't even know if my graduation ceremony is even going to take place, or if I'm just going to have to receive my diploma through the mail or something. I don't know. And with all this stuff, don't feel bad for me. I mean, one reason why you shouldn't is because, well, everyone's being affected by this. I'm not the only one having things canceled. People all around everywhere. I'm sure all of you watching this are having things canceled. It just sucks that this happened, with me being a senior with this New York trip and graduation. But the thing is, if my New York trip gets canceled, it's not the end of the world for me. They're certain that they're going to get the money back refunded, because I paid for all of the people in my class, media arts, for this trip. We had to pay $650 for the hotel and the bus, and that's the only thing that that $650 cost the trip to New York. Everything else was paid for somewhere else through fundraisers or something. And the food, of course, we hadn't spent money on that yet because we're not there. It's good that we're getting the money back from that, most of it at least. But I'm just I'm trying to think of like where to go from here. Where was it? I was talking about something before I got into the New York trip. Oh yeah, so my grandpa, we don't know what's going to happen with the graduation ceremony. Oh shoot, I think there was something else after that before I started talking about my trip. But anyways, so let me just talk about this guy, Michael Osterholm. He was on Joe Rogan's podcast, And I listened to the majority of this interview. And so Michael Osterholm is an internationally recognized expert in infectious disease epidemiology, um, epidemiology, or something like that. It's a long word. He is Regents Professor, McKnight Presidential Endowed Chair in Public Health, the Director of the Center of Infectious Disease Research and Policy, Distinguished Teaching Professor in the Division of Environmental Health Sciences, School of Public Health, a Professor in the Technological Leadership Institute, College of Science and Engineering, and an Adjunct Professor in the Medical School, all at the University of Minnesota. And he has a book called Deadliest Enemy, Our War Against Deadly Germs, which he wrote, and that book came out 5 years ago. And there's been lots of predictions, that around this time, there'd be some sort of virus, and I don't know, as you've been seeing in the news probably, America especially, we're very unprepared, with, having, all the resources we need from foreign countries, given, we're already like on a shortage normally, but now this coronavirus, that's taking place, that's spreading all over the world, is causing even more of a shortage. And there's all kinds of medication that people in America need. There's like over 100 of them, and there's lots of resources, and goods and things that people need that comes from China. But if, travel there is being banned, it's like, well, how are we going to get our stuff that comes from there? I don't know. There's a lot of, and so don't watch this video and just take everything I say as fact, or, because I only know as much as what's out there on the internet, and I've been trying to look at different viewpoints. I've looked at the viewpoints of what the experts say and the viewpoints of what politicians like Donald Trump is saying. And unfortunately, it seems like the facts are scarier than the myths. There's myths out there that, oh, this will pass over in a month or two or something, or it only affects old people and stuff like that. And I know, it's March 14th, this coronavirus has been the only news, honestly. Like, no one has been talking about anything else. Like, yesterday was my last day being at school, and hell, it might even be, my last day as being physically at my high school, which, throughout the day yesterday, I'm thinking, like, is this really it? So my school, we've switched everything to Google Classroom, so I'm still getting assignments and doing stuff online, for the next few weeks. Oh, and something I was going to mention is that April 6th is the week of our spring break, which is not going to be canceled, so I'm actually going to be off for 4 weeks. We'll still be doing work online, like I said, for the next 3 weeks, but I don't know what's going to happen with that 4th week. But anyways, so, I'm sure you've seen many things, many myths, maybe many facts, many things just told or whatever. Just because it kills old people doesn't mean, younger people still get the disease, so therefore they become the spreaders, the silent, spreaders or whatever. So actually the young people are more dangerous because, it's more hidden, the younger you are, the more healthier you are. It's like I could have it right now. I touch some surface, like downstairs. Like, let's say I go downstairs. I have the virus right now. I don't realize it. I touch a surface like the kitchen counter. My stepmom with leukemia and other health issues goes over, touches that surface, which apparently stays on there for 5 days or something, which is absolutely bonkers. Like, I don't know how a disease could do that. How could I touch something and it's there for 5 days? I don't know. These diseases are crazy, and there's a reason why they spread worldwide. It could kill her. Even if I have minor symptoms, it could kill my stepmom or my father, which, would be really bad if it was both of them. So a lot of different people have been saying, oh, don't panic, don't worry. And I do say that too. But other people have said this too, and I think it's correct, which is that, though, don't panic, because that's not going to solve anything. Also, don't just ignore the news, just think of it as whatever, not a big deal, because it is a big deal, obviously, in the way everyone has, around the world has been reacting to it with all the cancellations taking place across the country and the world. It is quite a big deal. And what I'm trying to do is, I'm trying to, take this time as a break, to work on, whatever I need to, work on schoolwork, work on YouTube, but also, stay informed and try to, get multiple perspectives, not just listen to one news source and whatever they say is true. I mean, I don't know. I mean, people, a lot of times, my father is kind of like this too, which is just ignoring the health experts. And I understand that viewpoint of, health experts said that we would die from this and the Ebola and the swine flu and, it'd be real crazy, but everything turned out fine. I mean, maybe that's true. Maybe this coronavirus, it's not overblown, I guess you could say, but also who knows how bad it could get. I mean, the Spanish flu killed millions of people or something worldwide. But back then, people weren't traveling north, south, east, and west on planes, trains, and cars, and whatever, and buses, and all that stuff. Like, now we're all, like, mixed together, and, especially now in this country, in America, too. I mean, any country, people are still going to be traveling all over, so things just spread so much faster. Like, if this coronavirus outbreak in China happened, 100 years ago, it's like, well, it probably would still, for the most part, just only be in China or those surrounding cities of Wuhan or something, Like, it would take so much longer for it to get to America. And this really is, kind of like a time where it's like pre-antibiotics and stuff like that. It's kind of interesting. And I don't really know. I mean, I'm only 18 years old, so I don't have, experience of being alive compared to many other people. I don't know when exactly the last time the world was really in a pandemic like this, or if it really ever has been, I mean, like when 9/11 happened, it's just like, I don't know if China gave a crap, or I don't think anyone over there was really doing anything. I don't know. That was like a national pandemic kind of, or I don't know. I mean, that was just kind of one event. Once it happened, it was done. People were scared, but the devastation was over. Well, not, I mean, it. You know what I mean? Like, no one else was going to be dying from 9/11, after, to people who weren't, actually there and all that. I don't know. I'm kind of going all over the place right now. I'm trying to think of, like, what I can say that's unique, that's actually different. Like, what's the point of you watching this video if I'm just repeating what everyone else has been saying? Oh yeah, so when we talk about the whole, like, stocking up thing and all that, the whole stocking up on toilet paper thing and the hand sanitizer and all that is so stupid. First of all, let me just say, I think people that are just spending tons of money on, that stuff, it's a waste of money. Because here's the thing. I mean, in foreign countries, they use bidets or whatever, which, in America, it talks about, we gotta worry about, global warming and climate change. We gotta protect all trees and stuff like that. Trees are how we get toilet paper. So it's like, I don't understand why we haven't moved to bidets yet or whatever. Plus, it's also cleaner. So, okay, point being is that if you have running water, you don't need toilet paper. So stupid. Oh my god, why am I even talking about this? Like, I've seen some jokes out there. It's like, this virus, it infects it infects your throat, not your anus. Oh my gosh. Ugh. What even is anything? Anyways, like, if you're gonna stock up on anything, like on water or something, if you have running water, continue paying for that. You just have a container, you fill it up with water, and you put it in the fridge, and it tastes refreshing, it's clean, doesn't, like, first of all, the water that's coming out of your sink should be completely healthy and edible drink, whatever the word is. Like, we've been doing that, like, that's what I do, that's what we've been doing in our household for years, it's like, oh, I gotta stock up on all the water bottles. It's like, stop. If anything to stock up on, if, anything were to happen, it would be food, And if something were to happen with the the water supply, then okay, then you need to go find water too. I don't know. So you can find a bottle of Perel and sell it for $100 during these tough times. But yeah, this came out of nowhere. I'm just gonna say that this came out of nowhere. No one expected this. And about those wet markets in China, which is where this all came from, I don't know. It sucks that the whole world is paying, suffering the consequences of their lifestyle, which is that they, there's thousands of these markets in China where they have all sorts of species that are normally, not together in the wild naturally, like, chickens and ferrets and monkeys and foxes and this all and turtles and any kind of creatures that is all put together in this one place, and it's just a recipe for viruses and diseases and all that. Like, it's unsanitary. There's like this. Oh my god, these places are horrible. There's just blood all over the place. It's just it's like hell. Honestly, it's just ugh. Like, and I mean, I understand, and you have to understand that there's over 1 billion people in that country. They need to feed their people, so it ain't like they can just eat other stuff. And there's no problem with them eating a lot of things that they do. But I just wish that two things. I'd wish they what they should do is that they should be more sanitary and put certain species in certain areas. I don't know what they know over there. And they should definitely when they kill these animals, do it in a humane way without them suffering. But I mean, then again, I'm saying all these things, and people, top officials have been talking about ways we can as a globally try and figure out how to stop the start of these viruses. And they said it's going to take a global response to try and stop China from what it's doing. And plus, there's other places around the world too where viruses could pop up, even in America. I don't know. I'm talking about lots of things that I have no control over. It's like we don't have control over a lot of this. Anyone watching this, I'm sure we don't really have control over this other than, to, I guess, wash our hands or something. I don't know. But then again, like all that soap that you put on with alcohol in it and all that, it's like that kills a lot of the immunity or whatever it's called. It kills the immune system on your hands when you're putting all sorts of alcohol and this unnatural stuff together and washing with that. I don't know. Some of the stuff I'm saying is, stuff I've heard from my father. Some of it's stuff I've heard from the internet, and other places. Well, I guess those are the only two places I really get any information from. I'm trying to just think, so don't panic. Be cautious, though. Michael Osterholm, the guy I talked about, and other health officials, top health officials are too. We don't know how bad this could get or how long this is going to last. I don't know, who knows? Like, people have been saying that there's going to be like 100 million cases total. I've been hearing that like maybe 500,000 people could die in just America alone. And as a Christian, it's like anything. I mean, I believe anything can happen. As a firm believer in Christ, things could happen. All of a sudden, this disease could just go away. Maybe just as like a little glimpse of like end times. It's just we got to be more prepared. This is like a little warning of end times. On the disease part of things. I don't know. I don't know if I should bring up that part because I know a lot of you don't understand that or don't believe that. I'm not sure, but whatever happens, happens. I'm not concerned about getting the virus. If I do get it, then I mean, I don't know. Like rip. Well, not rip to me, but it could kill my parents or something. I don't know. I'm trying to think of just what else to say. I guess during this time that you're away from school, and I don't know, I guess, all of you, there's lots of you that are working and all that. if you have time off from places you'd normally be at, like if you normally have to be at certain places that now you're not doing, take this time to be with your family and to work on things that you normally wouldn't get done. Like for me, I have church has been canceled, but it's like, okay, I can spend that morning and the other time too actually reading the Bible. And that's just an example, it's like just because so, and especially a lot of kids, if you're not in school, it's like, well, take this time to get things done that you normally wouldn't have time for. I don't know. I'm trying to. I don't know. I don't. It's just so weird because I don't know exactly what's going to be happening here. Like every morning I wake up and I'm like, did I just have a really long dream? And I check the news or I just turn on my phone. There's already a notification sent to me. It's like, nope, it's real. But yeah, please don't freak out. If you're don't be afraid to go to a store or a restaurant or whatever. I mean, that's, don't let this change. I mean, beside the things that is out of your control, like, certain places being closed, like church and schools and stuff like that, don't let this affect your lifestyle. Don't prevent yourself from doing certain things you want to. Like, if you want to go have that party with your friends, go have that party with your friends. It's like, I don't know. I woke up a couple hours ago. That's my excuse. I don't know. But yeah, as of right now, it's been confirmed that there's like 150,000 cases worldwide, and that there's like 6,000 deaths. And this is only just the beginning. You have to understand, this is only just the beginning. A lot of people have been comparing this to the flu season, like, oh, the flu kills 36,000 people every single year, and no one talks about that. This virus, that it's only killed 50 people, and 36,000 people died from the flu in the U.S. The coronavirus has only killed like 50-something people in the U.S. It's like, it's only just beginning, though. Like, if the health experts knew that, that's as bad as it would get, then it wouldn't be much of a problem. But, now, it's just beginning. Like, in Italy, like, things are, like, doubling all the time. Like, a couple days ago, it was, like, 10,000 cases. Now it's, like, at 21,000. And I don't know. I don't know exactly how this virus can honestly be stopped, because there's not even because there's been some things Trump has been saying, and though personally I favor Trump and things that he says lately, it's just kind of been like, okay, he probably shouldn't have said that. It's like, I think he said something about a vaccine being ready in a few weeks. That is not true. Hasn't even been a vaccine for the Zika virus, which was 5 years ago. The word apparently from Michael Osterholm, the best case scenario is that this coronavirus is going to be 10 times worse than the worst seasonal flu, which is, that's crazy. And maybe, I don't know, maybe this year as a whole will be tough, and just this virus is just going to take over, and once everyone's immune systems are built up, because once you get the virus, you can't really get it again, because your immune system has like it's like changed to be able to take on a coronavirus or something like that. I don't know. There's also been things said that like 40 to 60% of the world is going to be infected in some way, and that like 50 million people worldwide might die. I don't know. I mean, all these numbers I'm saying, they come from all sorts of different places. So maybe there's going to be some number in the middle, or maybe everyone's just wrong. I don't know. But for me personally, I'm on my channel. I'm still going to be working on stuff. I'm going to be making videos. I was originally going to make this a podcast of the Andrew Robinson show. I haven't done that show in a few months. I need to get back on that. But I thought, you know what? I guess I'll just talk in front of the camera and say it that way. I'm trying to think if there's anything else to say. I guess just be safe, stay safe. If you have symptoms, I don't know. Like, if you're experiencing multiple symptoms, go see a doctor, or go to wherever you're supposed to. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know what to say. I have no control. I'm not an expert on this. I don't know. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to say. Let me just look up coronavirus. Let me just see. Just like this is like I'm trying to look for a place where it's just like I see some article. It's like, oh, that reminds me or something. Um, I'm trying to see here. I'm looking at my computer. Coronavirus. Uh, U.S. cases. I don't know. I don't know. It's still spreading, and I don't understand. Like I've heard stuff about China. It's apparently like the spread is like slowing down a lot, which is really interesting. But I don't know how what's going on with that, or if there's they're just not saying all the people that are dying from it, or if they just stop telling all the cases, or I don't know. Who knows? You don't know. Life is to like Forrest Gump once said, life is like a mama always told me life is like a box of chocolates, or it was like I don't know. Life was stupid Mandela effect. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, life. There's definitely surprises, and you see things that happen on the news. It's like, oh, that would never happen to me. Well, look at this. Here we are. Everyone's being affected by this. I don't know what else to say. I'm trying to think. Like, is there anything else I could possibly say? I guess do your research. Don't take everything as fact. Also, don't take everything as just a myth or just fake news. Just try and see for yourself, how things are going. And the only thing we're actually going to figure out or find out about how things actually turn out is as time goes on. If there's cases that there's going to keep on coming for months and months, or if this stops. I mean, only time can tell, really. No matter what the experts say or what the politicians say or anything like that. Whatever happens is going to happen. Michael Osterholm, he can say 40 million people are going to die worldwide from this disease. And it turns out maybe only 100,000 do, or 400 million do. I don't know. Whatever happens, happens. That's all I have to say. Just try to enjoy yourselves during this time too. I mean, there's already the world hasn't stopped spinning. Like the world isn't only just coronavirus now. There's other people dying of cancer and other things going on. Other people dying of car crashes. Like everything else that we've been dealing with before this coronavirus outbreak, it's all still going on. It's just this coronavirus is now on top of that. With things that are going on around the world. But I'm just going to end this video here. If there's any questions that you have, leave them down in the comments below. Maybe I'll just send a link to your comment saying, oh, hey, check this out because I don't know about that. Or maybe I might provide some information that you have that you might want to know. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm just all over the place. But yeah, I'm not going to do my normal outro here. I'm just going to end it here. So, stay safe. Relax a bit. We're gonna have to all adjust our lives, with the way we normally do things. But, everyone from this is suffering in some way and suffering the consequences in some way. So, let's all just kind of share the pain and the sadness here of things being canceled, and maybe of loved ones, getting this virus, already or eventually. We don't know. I don't know who's watching this or how many people are watching this, and I don't know how you all have been affected. But just stay safe, stay calm, stay informed. Pray to God. Just pray. And let's hope that we'll actually learn something from this, But yeah, that's all I have to say. Adios.